So Vasco is from Techno Foods. We'll be talking about worms and nutrients. Afonso Vieira is from Ecoceno. We'll be talking about reusable takeaway packaging. And Omid is from Greenment. And so we'll be talking about organic cement. But first of all, let us know you, as I don't have your presentations. Please, Vasco, you first.
Okay.
No, just about you.
First, thank you for the invitation. It's an honor to be here and to be part of an event that covers the mission and the values of Tecma Foods.
So then, Afonso.
Yeah, I'm the founder of Ecoceno, a reusable packaging system. And yeah, as like Vasco, I appreciate being here and contributing to a better panel.
And Omid.
Thank you so much for being here. It's a great pleasure to be here for, I would say, second time. This is fantastic because we are change makers, and I'm very happy to be here also.
Now the other way around, please tell us something about your background, your personal background, before we go to the businesses.
My personal background is, I'm not environmental, let's say, activist, but my background is consumer neuroscience and building brands with the power of neuroscience and balancing well-being through the neuroscience, and that has a lot of implication as a serial entrepreneur, so it can result to many, many innovation ways, and this is Greenment that I'm going to talk about.
You, Afonso, what about you?
Yes, so I'm here representing a circular economy service, so to say, but I come from a family that manufactures single-use packaging. So that's...
You want to help them evolve?
Yeah, they say I'm killing them. But
we'll come back to that. What about you?
My background is economics, but I always have a passion about producing food in a sustainable way.
Nice. So let's know all about Techno Foods. I believe you have a presentation.
I'll try to pass a video if it's possible. Yeah. There is no sound.
Oh, there you go.
Thank you. So this small video tells a story about Tecma Foods, and it's all around a small hero, which is an insect. In this case, the mealworm, which is a very useful insect that can be for consumption both human and animals. And at Tecma Foods, we focus mainly on food applications. So what we do, build a Portuguese-based company that focus on the technology and all the knowledge of breeding mealworms by using also byproducts from food industries, food waste, spent grains, a lot of byproducts that can be used, and these small little heroes are very good on converting this biomass into protein, oils, and biofertilizers. And that's what Tecma Food does. We started in Porto with a centralized hub. It was our first factory when we made a lot of mistakes. It was part of the process. Then we realized that part of the operation, the life cycle of the worm, can be done outside with partners, with farmers, with person in the field that also have co-products, byproducts. And we start to do centralized. So we design units, mobile units that can be placed anywhere, and teach people how to grow the larva and use the products of the farms, such as spent carrots, cuts of different vegetables and fruits, and teach them a way to have more income and to be able to use all the food waste they produce. So we started by that, decentralizing, using a lot of tech, sensors to monitor climate, temperature, humidity, etc. And it was a really use case for us. Our first container that we externalized, it was in Douro. And also these worms, these insects, during the growth, they produce a lot of biofertilizer, which the farmers can reuse on the crops. So it's a perfect circular economy. And then we make the final product by processing the mealworms into powders that can be used by the food industry. So it's difficult for us to explain when you approach a new consumer, because insects in our mind is something strange to eat insects. So it took us a lot of time to explain that this is safe, it's really good for the environment, very nutritious, and can help to close a cycle which is based on the food waste, and also to fight the problem of the lack of biofertilizers. So this is all aligned with the European vision of a group of countries that can produce their own food and fertilizers, and also to spend less and less food. So it's a big challenge, but we have a good team, and we know that this is a thing that will be very good for the next years and help fight climate change, ensure food security, and also to try to give some more sustainability to the farmers and the people that are working on rural areas, giving them an extra income. So it's a really complex model, but it's working, and we know that we are contributing for a better society.
You also told me that it lowers the water usage. So how come?
The insects they need few water, just the water from moisture of the air. So if you compare with a cow, it's like 1 to 1,000 liters to produce 1 kilo of mass. So it's a very big difference. They are very, very efficient on living. They are very simple, but they have millions of years to adapt and to be optimized. So they are a perfect machine of nature to convert biomass into things that we need.
And what about scale? And I have a little piece of land. Can I do it, or I have a huge piece of land?
We started by smaller units, with the container units. Normally, they occupy 25 square meter, which is nothing. It's a very, very small space. And we can produce almost 2 tons of larvae per 7.
What size? Sorry?
25 meters.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah.
Really?
So a lot of protein. We can convert up to 8 tons of food waste and produce 8 to 10 tons of fertilizer, which is a lot. And in terms of labor, because no one today wants to work on the field, it's a tough job, it's not that intensive. We can, with 8 hours per container, you can generate an extra income, a salary. So it's very good. We already have 3 farms, and we have 44 projects in line to implement. So.
And those 3 already in place. Can you tell us what's the outcome, the income in this case, per ton or something like that? What are they earning?
Yeah, we basically design a contract of 5 years where we fix the price to the farmer, the price of the larva and the price of the frass, and they can have a payback of 2.5 years, because they buy the solution from us.
Okay. Okay. Let's move to another circular economy project. Yeah. Now it's you. Now it's Afonso. Afonso is from Ecoseno, and so we'll be hearing about. Usually, I think. Well, the owners of the restaurant tell me whenever I go to buy sushi, I'm the only guy that has the same package, the same box that I took from there the first time. So I go in, I show them that it's their box, it's the same box, and they say, so you're the only guy that does that. You want to try to do that, turn that into a business? Well, and in the meantime, kill your family business.
Yeah. Is it convenient for you to take the container there?
It's just a mindset.
Okay, but you're not like the general
I'm the only
population.
one, yeah. I'm
you're the only
crazy
one.
guy.
Yeah. That's what we are trying to solve, like to convey a solution to allow anyone, like on the general day-to-day lives, to use reusable packaging instead of single-use packaging, because we cannot keep going this way. And yes, so a quick overview or a quick background on me. I was raised in a family that runs the largest single-use aluminium packaging in Portugal, like the ones you find in churrasqueiras, grill houses in Portugal. And while these figures are good, bright on a business perspective, one day, like 2 years ago, my father came home and said, yeah, the EU and the Portuguese government said that there is death penalty for single-use packaging, and we have 30 employees, and in 3-4 years, the business will be gone. And that's where I joined the business and tried to convey a solution where, okay, we will accept this, will not fight, will not resist to this transition, and we'll try to lead the way, because that's the only way if we want to keep a business within our family. And that's what we did, and the first thing we looked at was, okay, let's do this and involve as many parties as we can, because this is a cultural change, so it's not up to a single business team, whatever, to make it happen, because it will be tough. And we got on board Fundo Ambiental, which is from the government, and Sociedade Ponto Verde, which is the leading entity responsible for waste management in Portugal. And we set a stone to start our journey. And here, there's one thing that helps us as well, is that we are in the business for over 30 years, so we understand. And while we started as okay, let's try to find a solution to replace aluminum single-use packaging, then there was pizza packaging, cups, everything, sushi trays, everything. And so we had to design a system where any type of packaging can be used, and that works. And yeah, so first challenge is reusable packaging. If it is good, it's expensive. So you cannot leave a deposit of €1 because the packaging is like a good Tupperware. It costs 4 or 5 euros. So we cannot charge €5 because that's the price of a meal in Portugal. But we cannot charge less because people will not return. So there's a huge financial risk. What we did was implement a free-to-use and cash-free model where we can say to anyone, look, you can take the number of units of packaging you wish. We don't charge anything for that as long as you return. If you do not return the packaging within 2 weeks, we charge you. And we implemented this, we started this 7 months ago, and it has been quite a journey. So learning a lot, and yeah, you'll see afterwards very good examples. Another thing we learned is that, okay, events, there's a crazy logistics where you get a cup, you pay €2 and you cannot return the cup. Like this is, let's call it greenwashing. We approached Visa, the payments company, and we developed the smart return bin. So a bin that identifies the packaging, the cups you return, you tap your card and you receive the deposit back. So this is problem solved. We launched 7-8 months ago, and our North Stars, let's say the metric that says if we are doing a good job, is the percentage of packaging returned. And we're almost like thousands of packages used. We're almost to 100%, so we're doing good. And yeah, we just announced we are working with Pingo Doce, The Rest, Poke House, Nova. So because this will be mandatory, change will happen, and we are somehow seeing what are the companies that are fighting against reusable in favor of single-use. I will not say names. And we see the other companies that, yeah, They embrace the new world and help us make change happen. And yeah.
When will this be mandatory?
It depends how much money the other guys put in the lobbies.
Oh, but there's not already a date. There's not a time frame already.
So there was a tax to be introduced on single-use packaging. It is already live for plastics. To give you an example, it was deemed to start for aluminium. It was postponed 3 times the day before it was going to be effective. So it's kind of messy to say there is a date. We just know it will happen. So it's a matter of the date.
As you could see with my example, there's some mindset evolution problems. Well, I can see you're already working with some companies that are part of the problem, and the only way to do things like this is to make those who are part of the problem to become part of the solution. What's their feedback? How are people taking this new approach?
I would say the difference between the good boys and the bad boys is that they just open the doors to try. Because if
it costs them nothing, right?
Yeah, it costs them nothing. It's good for their marketing, etc. But if you look from our perspective, our goal is not to build this for them, because they already have the determination to make it work. Our main goal is to learn with them, to approach the other guys that say no to this like 100%, and show them, look, we did this, we tested with them, and it works. It will work with you. Because, we understand. It's hard for, I'll call it not fast food, but operations where you have queues and you have like 20 seconds to serve your customer because it's fast sales. It's hard to implement something different. It's not just packaging, it's different. And I think it's our role to set something up that is not an obligation. Like, we built this, it works, it will work with you without you making a commitment that makes your business underperforming in any other areas, because that's not the goal. Like, I usually say that I'm pro-environment, but before that, I'm pro-user experience. That means we cannot tell an average person, by average I mean a common citizen, like the average guy, look, you will have to change how you live because it's for the environment. No, we need to come up with solutions that allow people to live within their wishes and live better.
That would be an whole different discussion, but whatever. Yeah, that's priorities. But yeah, you raised one of the problems, and that's what I was thinking about. You cannot raise awareness at the marketplace, at where people are choosing their food. That's not the place. They don't have the time, nor the mindset. The people who are selling the food, whatever, to do that work there. How are you working upstream?
In any way we can.
Because there's a lot of associations like ours, like Quercus, for whatever, that are already doing a lot of, well, it's a fight. There's no other word.
No,
You're fighting for reusable packaging.
I'll give you an example. For instance, at Nova SP, they have a campus with 4 or 5 food operators. And because of the rankings, the university had to develop a plan to go zero waste,
I'm coming from Nova SP, by the way.
Yeah. Me too. I'm an alumni, so I can say good things and bad things about them. And they told the food operators, look, it will be mandatory, you'll have to stop using single-use packaging. And they help in the communication. And for instance, we have people, like we do lots of actions in store, like trying to raise awareness. And it's like in the business side, we call it guerrilla tactics, because it's like we do whatever we can. And when we have new partners like Eurest and the big names in the food operation business, it helps. And like we are populating cities, and if the restaurant in this street has our service, the next one will have, the next one will have. It's like a snowball. Like we're building a business, and we usually say like we haven't received any venture capital because we don't believe this fits, because we're not building a business for 5 years. We're building a business for 50 years. And we don't need to grow as fast today because, yeah, we are mostly focused in building a solution that works because it will be mandatory. And if it works, we'll not have like civil wars because it's mandatory. Otherwise, it's bad for us.
You're talking about that you'll be there for 50 years, makes me a segue for Omid. Buildings are there for a long, long time. Cement is there for a long, long time. I got to confess, I never heard of organic cement, and I'm really impressed. So do your presentation, then I have a lot of questions to ask you.
Thank you so much. So, I should stand up.
Maybe I'll have less questions once you do the presentation.
So again, good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me and a nice introduction. I have a question for you guys. How many of you, please raise your hand, experienced this scene in your life with your loved one, family, or friends? This is very emotional. I experienced with my co-founder this one as well. And I want to introduce you an invisible killer that maybe you know it, but this is very visible, but we cannot see, and that's air pollution. And air pollution causes a lot of cost for our healthcare system, and globally is massively, like around 7 million people are dying because of air pollution, this invisible killer. So, what is the solution? The solution is we have to think strategically, as you said rightfully. We have to build the businesses that can solve the problem in a long run. We have the cities for many, many years, built by cement. But what if we can bring the green sense of life as a natural solution to solve this problem? Otherwise, we cannot breathe. And we all experience the COVID time with mask. And if really we don't do any action during these years, is going to be very problematic. So basically, GreenMent is the solution that we introduced. It started 10 years ago. At that time, it was just an idea how we can make a cement plantable. This opens a lot of doors for green cities, smart cities, green landscape architecture, that you can build literally anything with our concrete GreenMent green, because it can grow from cement plant. So we are fighting for air pollution, global warming, and greenhouse. How? When we have these kind of green walls, the solution right now is about the soil now. But if we can have the concrete and cement, you can have flowers, you can have different kind of plants on the wall. For example, in Lisbon, from Cascais to Lisbon, we have A5. And imagine we have a wall for inhabitant with full of flowers, is good for their well-being and also is good for carbon absorption. Our concrete is reduced like 45% water usage, and it's soundproof and it's heat-proof. So it has a lot of, I would say, feature to not just fighting for air pollution, but also for water usage reduction and also greenhouse emission and sound pollution. Sound pollution is also very severe, I would say. This is a nomadic hotel in Singapore. It was very futuristic at that time, but there is only one problem with this nomadic, I would say, green architecture, which is based on soil. And we are having a lot of problem with lack of soil in near future as well. So I would say some wars in near future is going to be about the water and soil, because it's very, like they're harvesting a lot of soil in a global scale. So far we tested 1,000 different kind of plants in 100 categories, different categories. And as you can see, like this is one of our, let's say, samples that we try to plant, medicinal plant even. Recently we could harvest tomato and pepper as well, and also grass. So this is a kind of revolutionary solution for architectures that they can open and they can think out of the box, or I would say without box to design. This is the density of grass in our concrete. So imagine what you can do for the flooring, for roof garden, for vertical garden. So this is, for example, a simulation. Imagine we have a wall, basically in Portugal, because of the high density of humidity. Most of the time we have this kind of walls. But what if all the municipalities fighting for making it green with moss? Moss has the highest absorption and is very natural solution kind of for fighting for the air pollution. And that's a huge impact on building green cities, not just for Portugal, let's say, think about in a global scale. This is my passageway near to Nova SPE, and I asked for Câmara Municipality of Cascais, just give me this wall, because I want to walk, not reading all this, I want to have a green sceneries. Meanwhile, you have absorbing carbon and you have lots of added value for this. One example that we did, it was an ugly, let's say, building. So they asked us to come and, as you can see, we try to make it green. So this is some of the project that we've done. And you can use it inside as well. So you can build the garden without having a pain for maintenance, species, let's say watering and so on and so forth, with direct concrete, green concrete. You can use it for flooring, and it has a lot of advantage, and it's reduced a lot of cost, maintenance cost. And the fact that it can keep the humidity, so in a larger scale, you can reduce a lot of water usage. Our target market is 20 best practice in the world, and I'm proud this is Portuguese company now. So we are starting from Portugal because Portuguese, they have this discovery DNA. So I want to also practice that part. So we are going to start with these ideal cities in Portugal. We accelerated in different parts, like in Lisbon, in Braga, and so on. But in Aveiro, we had a tour last night, And I just came to my mind thinking loud, we can easily make the whole part of this, let's say, canal
Yeah.
green, and it's a huge impact for cleaning the water, and also is much more, let's say, appealing, because nature is the highest level when you are synchronized with nature. And the most, as I said, is the very interesting solution. So we can make it, this is my proposal, call to action for municipality of Aveiro. We are willing to do this first pilot in Aveiro or any kind of city, you can name it. And this is my very futuristic concept. Imagine we have a bus stop and you're waiting and 10 more minutes. But if you have such a thing, you can wait and you can meet maybe your future wife or husband.
Is that mistletoe?
And if you're very romantic, you can order, we can deliver roses as well. So imagine is the future cities should be much more green. And this is necessity item for municipalities like bus stop. So what if we can change the way city look like? So basically we do B2B, B2G, and B2C, our target market. So you can have also these pots as a gift. So you can order in our website as a sustainable gift for your employees when you have this budget of, I know now somehow Portuguese how it works, like in October, December, you have unused budget, so you can use it properly. And that's it. Let's bring back the green sense of life to our cities. So,
A couple of questions. First of all, have you tried eatables too? The plants? Or the thousand different plants? You've tried?
eatables, you mean something that we can eat?
Yeah.
Yes.
You've tried those too?
Tomato, pepper, rosemary,
I want me
herbs.
some of that.
Yes.
And another thing, there's two types of cement there. Most of what we've been seeing is covering walls and things like that. But I believe you told me you can do also the structures with that.
Yes, we have two ways, like the hard and kind of this covering solution. The hard one we use in I would say it depends on the architecture point of view, how they want to use this. But if they don't want to use the covering and they want to be like invasive to do the nailing, and after that it goes directly, like in Azores, for example, they don't want to just use the cover, they want to do very hard concrete. So that's also possible.
So you can build the structure?
Yes, you can literally build whatever in terms of the concrete, beton or cement. With our technology, green technology, you can do it.
And will humidity, because as you have plants and whatever, that means that you got to have some humidity there.
Yeah.
Won't it damage the cement in some way?
No.
Will it last as long?
Our project, when we started, it is in Persia. So in Persia, we have very diverse, I would say, the temperature. So we tried from -35 in some region, and we observed the whole cycle of seeding, harvesting, and so on, up to 49 centigrade. So it's based on, one thing is about the cement, the other thing is about what kind of plants you want to use in that region. And that is, we have to do a study, our homework, and propose, okay, this is not going to work because of the geographical situation. So for example, the plants in Jerez or in Braga is going to be different than in Algarve or like Lisbon.
Okay.
So please visit our website and please connect if you want to bring the green sense of life to our cities. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you too. I believe just to compliment that you told me that the price of this cement is more or less about the same as the normal one. Do you two want, before we see if anyone wants to ask you some question, anything you want to add to your presentation, or you? Nothing?
It's okay.
Anyone wants to? Oh, okay, ladies first. Sorry, I'm old-fashioned. That way, I'm old-fashioned that way. No, we're not listening to you, sorry.
Sintropica.
Yeah.
So first of all, congratulations for all of you. I'm quite excited, everything quite interesting. I'm seeing in my home made with your green cement, eating beefs of worms, packaged with ecoceno.
Yeah, that could be a nice co-creation.
Yeah, just so congratulations. One question for you, in terms of thermic characteristics, if it also can help in terms of climate change. For instance, in south of Portugal, there is big problems with constructions because of the heat, and in other places it is the contrary. So can you just elaborate a little bit about the thermic?
This is exactly...
And let me just, then I can pass. And then about the worms, actually I work with regenerative farmers of livestock. They hate the idea, but I love it. I think we have space for everything, so I think it's quite interesting and important, and we need it. I just didn't get it so much, the part of the farming, because 25 square meters, it seems that is interior, yeah, so probably with a lot of energy to do that, and you said that it's needed 2 to 5. So what is could you please elaborate a little bit about the concept in the part of the farming of the worms? How regenerative is that model of producing food? Not the rest, because the rest I think it is quite
Let
easy
us
to
start
understand.
with Vasco, so you can take a breath, and let us be fast because they're already telling me we're out of time. So
Okay.
yeah.
So in terms of energy consumption, the way we design things is to be as concealed as possible, and these insect species will need temperature on the first four weeks. In the last 3, they will generate. So we design the solution to be very sustainable in terms of energy, because we can drive with 2 units side by side, heat from one when it's needed or cold when it's needed. But they are equipped with AC units, and they have a really good insulation. So it's like a greenhouse. So they are in a closed environment to optimize energy consumption, which is really low. It's really low in terms of, if you design this way, if you go to bigger buildings, there is a challenge there. If you go to towering over insect farming, which I don't really believe. I believe on smaller units, really tighten and all the production needs to be really controlled. And with this technology, we have a low consumption. In terms of the regenerative part, what we do is by using the frass, which is a fertilizer, which is rich in chitin, it will enable to them to grow more crops and to grow more food on the property. So the farmer uses that as a tool. He sells the worms to us, and he can use the fertilizer to the crops they have.
Thank you. Omid, about the energy efficiency of the buildings.
For the energy efficiency, I would say specifically most, because in Germany we have some benchmarks that they do for the large scale in the cities. So if you use MOS on this wall, you are decreasing the let's say the heating in a large scale. Even there are some companies, as I said, in Germany, so they are building like natural air conditioning for cities with MOS. But they are just making like kind of these big air conditioners and putting in different parts of the cities. But imagine if you have a big project, if you do the whole walls and it's soundproof and it's reduce a lot of, let's say, heating, and also for highways, let's say. So it could be for even train from, I don't know, from Braga, for example, to Lisbon. So we have some part that is very dry, so we can make it somehow appealing to watch. and also decreasing the heat.
The temperature, yeah, nice. We had another question there, and it will be the last before they cut my throat.
Thank you. I would like to ask Ecoseno gentlemen, how do you plan on making money, and what are your packages made of? Thank you.
Yes, so on making money, because the restaurant business is already too complex, we kept that part as it is now. So a restaurant that wants reusable packaging pays nothing to have it. We just drop them there, and we charge on a per-use base. So let's say you use a general box, we charge you 15 cents for one usage. So the same as they are already paying for single use. In regards to the materials, we are agnostic to packaging, meaning that we can use any type of packaging. For example, the standard, so the ones you saw in the presentation are in plastic, but for example, we are working with a big food group that operates canteens with glass jars, and we have restaurants asking for aluminum packaging so that it can go to the oven. So we had to build a solution that brings them all together.
So, is that it? Thank you. I'm really, well, this was very interesting. I'm really proud. These are 3 Portuguese companies. He's Persian, but the company is made in Portugal.
Persian melted in Portugal.
Yeah. And so, as we can see, if we think differently, things can be done and we can help accelerate a nicer future. A bag of worms can be a nice thing. It's not about, in some cases, it's not about thinking inside or outside the box, but how to keep the box for as long as we can. And we can even build flowers and food on walls. So let's keep on this track. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.